So what if I tell you I have not updated my resume for over 4 years and I do not have a portfolio, online or offline, and yet I'm still able to land job offers at top companies like Webflow and Shopify? And in today's video, I'm going to show you how I do it and how you can do it too. Hi, welcome back to my third episode of my job search series, Beat the Gloom. In this series, I will teach how designers like you can think about job searching more strategically and land the job that you deserve. So this episode, we are focusing on the earlier stage of your job searching funnel. So if you only target companies that are truly a fit, and yet you're still struggling to land a job interview, this episode is for you. So let's think about it for a second. When we're job searching, the first instinct is always, let's polish our resume, let's update our LinkedIn, or even redesign the portfolio. But the thing is, these activities, though important, might not have the return on investment that you are hoping for. Think about it. Whenever a job is posted, there's hundreds or even thousands of applications. And hiring teams spend what? Like a max of 30 seconds maybe to review each applicant and decide if they're a fit to move on. 90% of these resumes will never even make it into the first round. How do you guarantee you are the 10%? What if they're tired, they're distracted, or simply checked out? How do you stand out? How do you no longer be a sheet of paper in a stack of resumes? And that's when you need a warm-in. A warm-in is to establish a connection with the team before you even start applying. That could be a recommendation from someone. It could be a referral. It could even be you actually have a face-to-face conversation with the team and the hiring manager. At that point, you are no longer just your resume or just a name. You are you. At that point, you have a huge advantage against all the rest of the papers. So how do I secure a warm-in? And there's many ways you can do it. And just like product, there's good ways, better, and best. So let's start with the good way. A solid way of getting in the interview process is simply secure a referral. So if you know people, like search your LinkedIn. If you know someone that worked at the company you're interested in, hit them up. Ask them if they're willing to put in an employee referral for you. So if you have a referral, you have a much higher chance of getting an interview. There's an unwritten rule that if someone recommends someone, they always deserve a phone call. You just upped your 30-second glance into a 30-minute phone call. Move on to the next level, which is the better level. What's better is you actually talk to the hiring team, especially if you can talk to the hiring manager. And at that point, not only they know you exist, you jumped out as a person. And in the conversation, so many things could happen. You could learn a lot more about their pains and struggles. So you find out the exact reason why they're hiring for this role. And doing that, you will uncover the secret soft requirement that's not even written in the job description. You get deep knowledge you can use later on in your interview to target these problems. So that's huge. Not only you get a better chance of getting into the interview process, you get a huge advantage in terms of getting an offer because you will be presenting yourself in a much targeted and strategic way. So now move on to the best scenario, which is the dream scenario. And that is being known. If I ask you, do you think Pablo Stanley, MDS, or Chris Do would struggle to find a job? The answer is probably no. They have thousands of opportunities flying their way without them even asking. They have to say, no, I don't have bandwidth, right? So how do you be more like Pablo Stanley? The essence here is to create value and share your learnings and professional opinions with the world. Content creation, like posting on LinkedIn or create a YouTube channel, or through public speaking engagement, you get on stage and share your expertise that way. Or it could simply be a strong recommendation from someone that you used to work with. You impress them with your work, your attitude, and they would vouch for you. So this is harder to achieve, but once you do, you no longer have to worry about opportunities. Job opportunities might come to you. They might bring you opportunities and roles that they think you are already a good fit because they know you, they know your methodology, and you just need to simply say yes to the opportunity. Isn't that great? So this option takes a lot of time and a lot of work experience because you need to refine your craft, build your own voice and opinions to share with the world. I don't recommend you focus on this part if you are new to the design field, because it will be really hard for you to find your voice and add value. You will be wasting your time. If I were you, I would focus more on just get really, really good at your craft and start to ask yourself, what is my opinion on design first? That's the 3 different levels of warm-in. And as you might have noticed already, all of them require you to have some sort of professional connection with other people. That has brought up this sticky concept of networking. Unfortunately, networking gets a really bad rap because people think of networking, they cringe. They think slimy, salesy, forced, or simply scary and uncomfortable. But it doesn't have to be like that. You can find ways that you network authentically and that's comfortable to you. For example, I genuinely enjoy having coffee chat with people. I make it a habit to do it regularly. I constantly meet new designers in my field. When you approach these networking activities with curiosity and you're just trying to learn about the person and learn from them, it's no longer networking. You will genuinely look forward to those sessions, and as a result, you grew your network and you walked away with insights and learnings that you wouldn't otherwise have gained. So you can find your unique way of how you want to approach these conversations. And in terms of job searching, these coffee chats where informational interviews are crucial because that's what makes you stand out in front of the team. That is what's giving you the additional knowledge on what you should be focusing on in your job interviews as well. So start reaching out to more people and start building your network at this moment. And as a matter of fact, if you are watching this video and you made it here, consider that this is your sign that you should start intentionally build your network. And now I'm going to show you how you can do these informational interviews step by step. First off, you need to decide who to reach out to. If you are not actively applying for jobs, the pool of people is very open. You just talk to people who have your ideal job. You can treat it as a mentorship / networking conversation. If you're actively searching, I would list out companies with roles open maybe, and try to find designers on the design team in that company. Even if they're not directly hiring, they can introduce you to the right team and right people. I would go on LinkedIn, search for the companies you're interested in, look at all the people working there, and select designers that are at your level or slightly more senior and start there. If you have mutual connections, great. You can ask your mutual connections if they're willing to send an intro. But if not, cold outreach is not the end of the world. Look, I cold email and cold message people all the time. And I'm still here. I'm alive and well. It could seem like this is awkward and scary in the beginning, but once you're used to this, you'll be surprised how many people are so generous they like to help out a total stranger. Especially if you're really specific with what's your goal, what's your ask, and how do you think they can help you. The more specific you are, the less spammy or creepy you are. So be specific with your ask. Reach out to them and schedule a meeting or a coffee with them. When you're scheduling, use tools to make scheduling easier. It doesn't make sense to go back and forth with someone if you're asking them for their time. Send a Calendly link or Notion calendar where you can integrate your availability and offer them many slots they can choose from. So all they need to do is simply click a button and book a meeting with you. Once the meeting is scheduled, it's very important that you come prepared, because there's nothing worse than wasting someone's time and goodwill. You want to be very intentional, have a plan, and make the meeting as efficient as possible. Prepare a list of questions you want to ask. Think of good questions. Don't just ask, how do I get a job? That's the worst question you can ask. Spend some time, think about good questions. The best questions are the ones that they have to simply pause and think about it. And that's how you make yourself memorable, by asking great questions. When you arrive at the meeting, all the common courtesies and etiquette applies. Be on time, be polite, be kind. And if you're doing it in person, consider pay for the coffee, because that's the least you can do to thank their time. And this is very important. Never, ever asking for a job. You don't want to turn a informational session into, I'm actually selling myself. I'm applying for this job. Nobody can give you a job all by themselves. Hiring is usually a team decision. Don't waste their goodwill and do something that you might regret. Don't even ask for a referral. If they think you're a good fit, chances are they will offer to refer you or pass on your information to the team. And then you can follow up with them on that once they offered. Someone recently reached out to me to ask me to make an introduction, which I did, because I love to pay back to my network this way. But after the conversation, they find it useful. So they come back to me without much of a thank you. They send me a long list of people that they also want introductions to. Come on, I am not your assistant. Don't be that guy. Be grateful. Be grateful for their time. Even send a thank you message, thank their time. Share a few insights that you learned from the session, and then that will go a long way. Use your common sense. Now, here is your homework for today. List out a few companies and roles that you're interested in. Go on LinkedIn and identify 5 designers you want to reach out to talk more about the opening or the culture at their company. Write email, either get introduction or outreach to them, and report back and let me know how it went in the comment. Well, network is a long game. It may not give you the result you want right now, but in the long run, it's the most impactful factor for your career. So think about that and start intentionally grow your network. Start having coffee chats with other designers, job searching or not. Make it a habit. And trust me, you won't regret it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you find this video valuable. If so, please consider giving it a like. And that'll really help YouTube recognize this video and deliver it to more designers like you. And I hope I will see you in the next video.